I'm not late. I'm a little late. I'm a little late. Maybe. Hello, everyone. Hi. Hello, people. Hi. I know you can't see me. Give me a second. I shall make myself known in one moment. I forgot to put up my face cam. One moment, let me just do the errands real quick. I really should do this stuff before I start the stream, but I am not that prepared. So give me 1 second. Hello, Discord. I need you guys to get pinged. I really should do this every day. Ping, ping, ping-a-ling, ding, ding, ding-a-ling. That is set, that is set. I have chat, I have a, hold on. I have a face cam. Hello, people. This steadied? Steadied enough. All right, there we go. Let's angle that down a touch. I need to remember to keep my chair centered and not move off course here. Because then you guys, that won't be, it's not perfect. Get perfect. Yeah. Perfect? Ooh, just bonked my mic there. So this is the middle. All right, hello. Welcome to Starship. SpaceX is delaying 13. See, I'm already behind the news. I had to spend this couple minutes getting set up for the stream, and now I'm behind the news. I guess I can just use this tab here. SpaceX, do we have officially a new T0? No, 5:58. Yeah, no, that's right, because they go live 30 minutes before liftoff. Let me just check some of the other accounts. John Kraus sometimes has information. There we go. Yeah, new T0 is 6:59, and apparently SpaceX's website is updating live as well. 1 hour, 9 minutes. Okay, so we're targeting the middle of the window. We can also look at Eric Berger. Sometimes he has something interesting. I'll check on chat here in 1 second. I need to get my bearings straight. All right. Anything from Elon that isn't weird waifu AI generated? Okay, no. Anyway. Did you get a KSA key? No, I did not. I am not in the right thing. How much more time? We are T-minus about an hour right now. A little more than an hour. I don't know how interested I would be in playing KSA anyway. I mean, for a couple of reasons. One, the game doesn't seem very finished. And two, I like KSP. I honestly don't know if it's even possible for anything to surpass KSP. Even though KSA has a really good chance. I just, the kind of the charm, the whimsy of KSP, the original, I don't think can be... hello, Astroth. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. I don't think it can be matched. I don't know. Kerbals they're kind of like minions. That's what they remind me of. They're like minions, but if minions knew how to build rockets. And that's funny. Would it make sense for the Falcon 9 to do a on-land touchdown with its booster if it only carried a light payload to orbit? I mean, they do that all the time. If you're saying the return to launch site, where they just come back to basically the launch site and they land on the landing pad. If you're talking about like some like horizontal plane type landing, well, there is that one company, it was like in China or something, that released a render of them, like the booster would come down like a regular propulsive landing booster, and then it would like do basically a reverse flip maneuver for a Starship and then land sideways like that. Yeah, RTLOs. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't think that is ever going to... I do not understand the reason for that. 1 hour? Yeah, 1 whole hour. I need to go a little more this way. I need to be centered. I looked back at my 13-minute stream yesterday, and I was very not centered in the frame. 1 hour, Cookie, why are you... It's pretty late for you, man. You should go to sleep in wherever you are. Germany. The KS wants the sideways flop. By the way, guys, can we appreciate the absolutely beautiful thumbnails? They're not actually landing. No, they landed like if this is the land. Let's see, let me make sure I'm in frame. Yeah, if this is the land. They basically comes. Do I have like a pencil here? Screwdriver. Here's the land. Here's the. Here's the land. Here's the rocket. It would like come down like a regular Falcon 9 or a Super Heavy, and then like right here it would just. Oops, wrong way. It would turn this way and then just do that. Not like plane style. It's weird and doesn't make any sense to me. Why can't you just cook it? I haven't gone to bed before 2 in like a long time. 2's a good night for me. Late night, 1 a.m. Yeah, you Europeans kind of got screwed with it when they started launching in the evenings, and then I can't speak. When they started launching in the evening instead of in the morning because yeah, it's all nighttime for you guys. Goodbye, Cookie. Nice for us in America though because it's not at the crack of dawn. Design of the parts they posted. Of the new Super Heavy, of the new grid fin design, it is pretty cool. Yeah, that is I was just looking at that, the Everyday Astronaut. Yeah, it's a little wrong. But anyway, what I was gonna say before I got distracted is look at these pictures SpaceX posted earlier today, or even just a couple hours ago. Woo-wee! I think I'm gonna have to use this for one of my thumbnails. Because every time there's a new flight and I have to make a thumbnail for my stream, I usually try and get a recent picture of Starship. It is funny, yeah. So I went with, yeah, this will be perfect. This one, imagine. Flight 11 in big bold letters. Big white letters right across there. Flight 11 live. And then some like reaction. Maybe I'll get a reaction shot right now. I usually just, for the little picture I find that I put myself in the corner of the thumbnails, I usually just find some random exciting moment from one of the launches where I'm like, maybe I've never posed, maybe I could pose. Whoa! Something like that. I should probably look, whoa! Woo! That was weird. That's more of a creepy clown smile than so that is pretty beautiful. Very good photography. Hey, Black Shadow. How are you doing? Welcome back. This prelude section was not supposed to be this long. We were supposed to have a SpaceX stream by now. I need my improv. I don't know how much improv I have left. Go for prop load for the second time. Shocked face on the side. Yeah, that's what I got. Oh my God. Can you believe it? They did it. Yeah, like Mr. B. I'll Photoshop my face like crazy, and then I'll run the thumbnail test where I either have my mouth open or closed, and that is then I'm gonna go back and Photoshop every other thumbnail ever to close my mouth because that gets 0.02% more views. Or that's just statistical randomness, which it is. People do not click on videos more or less often, whether or not you can show your face, Mr. Beast, you're a crazy person. And yes, we are go for prop load. I'm getting distracted. Yes, go for prop load. Yay. Hey, Vulcan. Welcome. I'm not sure this 4K streaming thing is really worth it. Do you remember? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Parker. I'm not sure, because there's the chat delay is a little bit longer, because you can't get the super quick delay when you do a 4K stream. There's a storm. We'll have to do a weather check in a minute. You can't do the delay. You have to get a longer delay when you stream in 4K. I'm not sure there's really a reason for me to stream in 4K because we're literally just looking at Twitter right now. So I guess I'll just have to talk to you guys on a little bit of a delay for this stream, which is fine. Let's do a little bit of a weather check. Do time zone? I know, right? Everyone should be like China. You know, China has one big time zone because, you know, we're all together. It's collective. It's communist. It's part of the communist utopia. Everyone has one time zone, which doesn't really make a difference because it still gets dark at different times for different people. But how's the weather looking? You said design with 3 grid fins. I think it looks kind of ugly, but I think functionally it should happen. Starship has gotten significantly uglier. Block 3 Starship, Block 1 is significantly orders of magnitude better looking than Block 3. I think the pre-angled flaps and the 3 grid fins look very ugly, but I think technically speaking, from an engineering perspective, it's a very good decision. So, you know, maybe from that perspective it looks better. We have some storms over here. Let's see where they're going. It'd be nice if this wasn't absurdly laggy. Let's look at 18 minutes ago. That's 20 minutes. That's where are these storms moving? Yeah, they're moving north. No problem. Launch pad's down here. We're good. Yeah, no problem. It's good the same way HMS Rodney. Is that a boat? This is a boat. I think this boat looks nice. This boat actually looks awesome. Look at this guy. With the big old bow up there. I think we give thumbs up to HMS Rodney. Anyway, rockets, right? Rockets. Hey, with the housing being pushed further down for the N1 house stage is pretty nice. Yeah. When does SpaceX stream start? 6:13. It is currently 5:59. Stream start, unless they started it now. It's a Nelson-class battleship. That's cute. That's cute. You know, there's some really funky-looking boats? Those, like, Russian circle boats. They thought this would like somehow be a good idea, and they lost control instantly, and basically all crashed. The Russian circle boat, very big engineering achievement. Circle boat, yeah, Russia circle boat. It's been moved up. The launch or the stream, or neither. Has Twitter. See, has SpaceX posted anything aside from prop load? I mean, prop load has to be an hour from liftoff because they gotta like have time to, you know, do the prop loading. Where's like the flight timeline? Here we go. Does it not have here's the pre-launch stuff. So 1 hour 15 is go for prop load. So I don't think they can really push that forward. We can do our obligatory reviewing of the, in my opinion, the prettiest ship. The HMS Rodney is the USS Iowa. I am familiar with the USS Iowa. Actually, I know a little bit. I know enough about boats to know about the Iowa. The Iowa is a beautiful boat. Very kind of classic. The classic World War II destroyer look, right? Those big old turrets up there. Anyway, So yeah, hour 15 is go for prop load. 53-minute. We actually begin the prop load, and we're at 50. Do they have the live? We're at 57, so prop load should be starting any minute now. And then we do more propellant loading, and then we launch. We probably do a hold in there, and then we probably scrub for weather. Cool. I hope not. Please launch. I don't want to do like 15 streams. Sad no catch, yeah. You've already done an engine. Yeah, you have you in an inconvenient time zone there. They are pretty cool, Vulcan. Yeah, so practice, yeah. Doing that so the V2 boosters can start rolling out. You mean not catching? Well, I mean they can test kind of more risky flight profiles without doing a catch because you're not risking the hardware. We saw how that went last time. Not well. So that's why obviously you don't want to put a pad underneath that whole situation. So that's one reason not to do the catch. The second reason is they probably just don't even want the booster back, right? Like, what are they going to do with an old Block 2 booster? They don't need it. They don't need the Raptors. They're going on to Raptor 3, and the booster's inferior design anyway. So they've already reflown a booster, so they're in flight. B-14 flew again flight 9, right? Or no, flight 8. And then the Pyraptor flew 3 times? Or did... I'm getting my Starship lore mixed up here. Starship flight 9. Let's see here. Which booster and ship was 35 and 14? Okay, so 14 flew, yep. All good. I find the V2 booster catch mechanism to be a lot more reliable since the grid fins themselves bear the load. Missing the pins themselves is an option now. Stay up to 1 a.m. King Scrabble Force Vulcan. Yeah, you guys. Okay, hold on. Okay, Blackshot, what do you say? V2 booster. V2. Which one is V2? Is this? Are you saying this is V2 or the next one is V2? You're saying the new version is more reliable. Stream, please. Well, they're not going to start early. So they can't really. I mean, the prop load is going to take how long prop load is going to take, so they can't really. They can't really start early, unfortunately. I mean, I guess they could, and we could just see Dan talking about nothing for a little bit. 12:04 a.m.? Time zone is that? Like Ireland? This one that's launching is a V2 booster. Well, what's a V2 booster? This is the 33 engine Raptor 2 booster. I mean, I think the V1 booster is like booster 4 and 1.5-ish has separate. Yeah, okay. I guess that is V2 booster. The freaking naming schemes are all too complicated because it's like Block 2 ship, Block 3 ship, V1 booster, V2 booster, and yeah, so right now they have the pins, and then yeah, my understanding that V3 the pins basically get integrated into the grid fins. Hello, Tom Key. Yeah, I don't know what to call it. Like, this is the same design that's been flying ever since, like, Flight 2, basically. See out of the pad, nothing's happened. Pretty much, that'd be what the stream would be like. Still have 8 more minutes. They always delay. It's like, hey, man. Downright old, yeah. Nothing ever launches. I hope it does. I don't think we've ever had a Starship scrubbed twice, have we? I can check because... I have my streams. I can see if I have more than 2 streams. For a given launch. Let's see here. Let's see. 1 for flight 9, 2 for flight 8, 1 for flight 7, One for Flight 6, one for Flight 5. I think there's been scrubs. I mean, Flight 1 scrubbed and had a turn. We've never had 2 scrubs in a row, I'm pretty sure. Profit, I think, would have already started. Check the website. Prop load 53 minutes. We are at 52. Yep, so a minute ago it started. According to SpaceX renders, V2 booster has not flown yet and is the one to receive. Yeah, okay. Now, why would they call it V2 booster and Block 3 ship? The way I was thinking, I just called the whole thing Block 3. The new ship and the Raptor 3, anything I'm calling Block 3 has at least been the way I've been thinking of it. Maybe that's wrong, but because Raptor 3, this would be Block 3 of the ship, and it kind of is Block 3 of the booster. Like, you think the 29 engine Raptor 1 and some 2-ish, like Booster 4 and the Flight 1. Was Flight 1 Booster 4? No, it was Booster 6. Too many. Booster number... You guys are going to know it before I do. Why doesn't it show on why doesn't it show on Wikipedia? Booster 7. All right, Booster 7. Does someone have it before me? 7. Yeah, someone already got it. V2? Ah, fair enough. Black Shadow. Hoping for scrub because I got to go to bed at 8 and the launch for me is at 7. I mean, re-entry is like basically an hour after that, so you'll like just barely be able to watch. I mean, if things have been going the way they've been going, the launch isn't going to take an hour. The flight isn't going to take an hour, unfortunately. This game is so cooked. Yeah, absolutely it is. But anyway, my point was Booster 7 was basically like a Block 1-ish, or V1-ish, whatever you want to call it. It was like the first iteration of the Super Heavy, the 29 engine ring. And then on flights 2 through now 10, they have 33 engines. They have slightly different chine design. Did Booster 7 have the really chunky, squarish chines on the bottom? No, it did have the pointier chines, but they have been slightly redesigned, I believe. And the shielding on the engines, maybe? No, yeah, the chines are actually noticeably different just looking at pictures of Booster 7. So anyway, that would be Booster 1, or version 1 of the booster. And then version 2 is what's on now, and then version 3, or Block 3, is basically what I'd consider the 3-grid fin version and all that stuff. I mean, there's really... Basically, almost every single one is slightly different, so... The hydraulics. Well, I mean, there have been a lot of changes to... There was the whole fuel sloshing filter problem that they had a... That was a big thing. Open up the DM. Yeah, this is the... Well, this isn't happening anymore. Like, this guy does not exist anymore. At least I don't think... I think this guy would end up being wider, thicker, and way down the line. Because they're, like, basically... Block 1, Block 2... what do they say? What Raptor version? Does it say? Ship initial thrust. Well, the same engine. You'd have to assume this was planned to be Block 3. So basically, Block 2 has now become Block 3. This is the new booster design. Every possible issue has happened. Starship. Well, you've... Just wait. I'm sure they'll find a new issue for this flight. Something else can go wrong. There they are. You're right. they're starting to run out of things to go wrong. At some point, everything will have broken and they will have fixed everything. So maybe their fixes will start breaking. I don't know. Maybe a flap will just rip off or something during launch. Who knows? Or grid fin. Aren't they? I hope. ULA Sniper, Blue Origin, Cloud Machines. What's next? Right? Yeah, they're. It's going to be the Rocket Lab. I don't know. What do they do in New Zealand? Rocket Lab can come and do the haka at the Starship and intimidate it. They're doing what to the V2 Raptors? By the way, hello, YannBld. And I don't know. Discontinuing? Exploding? Goodbying? Rocket Lab scrub. But yeah, marine assets. Yeah, all 33 engines will fail. If all 33 fail, I hope they don't launch the thing. I hope that's like a pad abort. I hope. Did they delay it again? No, this is right. This is right. See any tweets from SpaceX? Any information? Nope, just go for prop load. Let's see where we are on the timeline here. We're at T-minus 48. So in 3 minutes, we will have ship LOX load. So we have the ship methane load underway. I always never quite understood why they do it that way. I guess just because the methane load's quicker, but the oxygen tank on the ship is lower. So it's strange that they're filling up the heavier thing first. And they're actually filling up the ship first. So they're filling up the heavier part of the heavier thing. Because normally you think you'd want it, not heavier, but I mean, methane is lighter, actually. The more moment-y, the longer moment arm. Because like you think you'd want to fill up this part first, the bottom, the liquid oxygen of the booster tank first, and then, it doesn't tip over. But you have all this way, it's going to tip over. I don't know why they do. Probably, they have reasons, I'm sure. They know of delays? All right, I will await your updates. Yeah, I can't show any of the copyrighted streams on my stream for obvious reasons, but I guess I can look at them off to the side. We should start to see like a frost ring develop soonish, I think. Maybe not exactly now, but I probably want to have cameras pointed at it. The OLM is venting. I just pulled up Everyday Astronaut. 6:13, it should be started. It's already late. They said about a half hour before launch. Oh, it's open. Never mind. Okay. Who's ready for some techno music? We all love our SpaceX techno music. They can lift off as long as 32 to 31 engines, as long as they're not the very central engines. Well, I think they can be. Well, it's not. I bet they could lose a center engine. Like the middle three, I bet they could lose one of it during the launch and be fine. Because for this landing attempt on the booster, which I'm actually really excited to see. I know the booster is getting overshadowed by the ship, which it rightfully is, because who cares about the booster? It works. They figured that out. Ship is the freaking, bang your head against the door type issue. But they're not going to be lighting one of the center three engines on the booster for the landing burn. So theoretically, if they don't need it for the landing burn, they probably could get away with it. And you're saying they could lose two? Oh, they have the little intro music. This is probably the same video that they've shown a million times. No, this is different, I think. I think this is a new intro. Let me check my sound balancing real quick, guys. That looks good. It is going to Blue Origin hover, yeah. It's going to be exciting. These are some really cool shots. We got to look at some. Oh! Have they showed that before? They might have. Some of these shots are definitely new. Flight 5. Flight 6. Oh, the last successful ship landing. Flight 7. That's Flight 5. All right, Dan, take it away.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Starbase, Texas.
Hi, Dan.
We like to call here at SpaceX the gateway to Mars. I'm Dan Hewitt with SpaceX Communications.
Do-do-do.
Coming to you once
Hey,
again
where's his
in
co-host?
of Star Factory. This time, pretty cool. Just off to my right, though, our new mission control center. Engineers are on console.
Oh, how about that?
The systems as we
Brand new mission control.
lift off of the 10th.
Elon there, or did he bail? Where'd he
As
go?
you look at the rocket, you can tell prop load is underway. Our
For the
T0
test
right
flights,
now
they're
is
nowhere
set
near the
for
max payload, so they
659
could
feet
probably
and
lose more engines and
back
still
with
make it.
flying
Well,
around some weather that is currently the biggest threat to them.
all right, hopefully Dan doesn't say anything important because I actually have something to say about this. So when you say the payload, they don't have any payload, so therefore they're lighter, and therefore, they're doing a lot of work down there, and therefore they can lose engines. So not really, because when you think about something as heavy as Starship, because of just how incredibly heavy and how much propellant is, and like the mass fraction and all the math numbers, basically Starship without payload weighs like 99% as much as a Starship with payload. Maybe not quite that much, but it still weighs like it really doesn't weigh too much less without a payload. Now, granted, there's a little bit of extra performance available, but it isn't as much as you think, unless I'm delusional, which maybe I am. Hello, furries in outer space. Welcome back. It's unfortunate, Martin. Good luck. Good luck indeed, Starship. All right, hopefully Dan didn't say anything important.
Gonna end this live cast.
Is that Elon?
Add a little flavor.
Yeah, right now we're counting down.
Why did okay.
The largest flying object.
Hello, Elon.
But this isn't on the radar for everybody, and we know that. So we want to kind of take a beat, pull back, do a little bit of Starship 101. To do that, I've got some special guests crashing the webcast today. Joining me now is Elon Musk, Chief Engineer at SpaceX. Bill Riley, our VP of Starship Engineering. Thanks for being here, guys. I know we got a rocket about to get off the pad, but let's start people off.
He's never made an appearance before. I think your SpaceX stream is delayed.
Well, I don't know about everybody, but I'm here to try to build into the future that I imagined and dreamed of.
I think the stream you're watching from me is delayed, if anything, because there's a quite large delay because I'm streaming in 4K, which is a dumb decision. I'm not going to stream 4K anymore. But there's a larger than normal delay. I would unmute to listen to Elon, but he's probably saying the same thing he said a million times.
One is to ensure the long-term.
Yup. Second stage is 120 tons, but adding another 150 reduces delta V by a huge amount. No, that's the dry mass, though. That's the dry mass. The wet mass is probably like 600 tons, I bet. I may be wrong. You might want to double check my math, but I'm pretty sure the 120 is just the dry mass. It's like Nintendo 64, yeah, a very divisive vehicle.
To live. Life cannot just be about.
Oh my god, lad. He's been. Sometimes he reminds me of like a South American dictator, like repeating the party line, like drilling the message, some kind of 1984-esque. We must become a multi-planet species to extend the light. He said it so many times. That's very wrong. Is that very wrong? Well, maybe it is very wrong. I don't remember the number. I knew at some point. Not anymore. Someone can correct me.
Just 2 towers for the first time. As we build towards the first operational flight from the second tower at the end of this year, and this beautiful building, 1 million square feet, where we're able to work towards a production line of Starships.
Yeah, the SpaceX team has done an incredible job of building out.
That is correct, Martin. That
really
is
the most advanced.
Oh, I didn't even see the name. Yeah, that is why. Yeah.
Manufacturing facility that has ever.
The question.
This is.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. My friend made a Roblox account for me. I didn't even come up with the name. He was gonna. It was his own name. He named it Pilot 1549. Only he didn't. He named it Piolet, and I just kind of ran with it.
The beach. It's an incredibly improbable location, and this used to be a sandbar. I think we're about, 3 feet or about a meter above sea level. it really was nothing.
Yeah,
You see
V3
the
nose
time
cone.
lapse
Yeah.
From sandbar to two launch towers and a gigantic
Square feet
rocket
have
factory
triggered. Yeah, well.
with high base.
Freedom units,
And
right?
We're going to be building something called the Gigabay, which is like one
Check.
of the largest enclosed volumes on Earth. So it's sort of
Tell me if the audio's
gigantic
off. Tell me if
storage
Elon's too loud or if
that we're
I'm
gonna
too
be
loud
building
or
here
something.
for,
I can always update.
for building and storing these.
I've gotten so smooth.
gigantic
Oh yeah, I mean they were so
It's really
jaggedy.
spectacular, and anyone can come and visit. So
So
the-
jaggedy
because we're on
in the
public
SN
highway,
days.
And we're literally by a public beach. You can actually come and see the rocket. You can.
I mean, actually, not even like if you remember like the Mark 1 days, I was only like passingly familiar with Starship at that point. But like Mark 1, Mark 2, when they were literally looked like I don't know what they look. I don't know what to compare them to. They look almost like it was made out of bricks, kind of. It was that just jaggedy, falling aparty, and it did fall apart. You know. I spot FPFP I like. Mr. Trivent, yeah, the SN, yeah, the T-minus 15-second-ish Trivent, yeah, good days.
Families outside going for their, or was on Sunday going for their Sunday stroll.
We can do
and they were
4K.
greeted by Starship going down. And I think that from the very beginning, the thing about Starship different than Falcon and other rockets that I'm aware of is we designed it to be mass-produced and mass-produced at scale. And it's not about building one Star.
I'm just trying to, I just switched the quality to 4K on the SpaceX stream, and I'm just trying to make sure it's running smooth. Let's see here. I'll have to do a quick internet test because I don't want a stuttery, laggy launch. I want a clean, crisp launch, even if that means losing a little bit of resolution. Let's see what we got here. You're getting about 100 megabytes down, so that should be enough for 4K.
There's always this debate throughout history of will civilization end with a bang or a whimper, but either way.
Think the audio is good? All right, cool.
the
I hope so
thing is
too.
Get to the point where
Starship would really be running out of steam here. Oopsies, I just double did my audio there. The program would be, I think, not in trouble financially, but just from a PR and a momentum and a vibe perspective. If this flight is another failure, like, whew. Yeah, that would be sad. We have frost lines, by the way, on the ship and booster. This would be, if this flight is a perfect success, this would be a big turn. Not even about the booster. Who cares about the booster? Well, Ascent booster needs to do fine, but after separation, who cares? But if the ship completes all its objectives, that'll be a big moment. A big moment for the program. It'll be the turnaround we need. The vibe is not vibing already. I know, the vibe is definitely taking a hit, but it would take a bigger hit if, you know. Kaboom. You know the Kowalski meme from the Penguins?
enjoyed a period of prosperity for millions of years, but also died out millions of years ago. So it's humbling to think of the age of the universe.
We're going to go down to
Standard
1080p.
model of physics being approximately 13.8 billion years old. So an incremental million years would be 3 digits past the decimal point. And if you look at, say, our civilization...
There's a gray box in the SpaceX stream.
By, the first evidence of writing, which is about 5,500 years ago. Civilization
Fourth time a
has
charm?
first
Well,
writing
let's hope.
is only 1/1,000,000th.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was the fourth Falcon 1, right? And it was the fourth hop test, too, right?
And so far.
SN 8, 9, 10. Well, no, SN 11 was the fourth. That was definitely not a charm.
This thing is. And
Empty
we were
Starship
able to
V2 has 9.7
catch
tons
somebody
resulting
working on it,
versus 7.7
for
at
a while
100
ago.
tons.
And like, part of the reason you said we're sending millions of tons, that's kind of why this
And
thing
I
is
think
as
in this
massive
image,
as it
Dan, you
is.
can actually see
Right.
the person working at the bottom of the ship, and as we zoom out, you see.
All right, Lan, yeah, you're right, Lan. That sounds correct to me. But run the see how much delta V a full stack has with a payload and with no payload. Because once you add in the weight of the booster, I did all this math once before. I have like multiple videos actually about this, not specifically about removing payload, but about Starship performance with and without. It was the videos where I compared was actually some of my favorite videos I've ever made. One of them did really well. One of them did kind of only average. But I compared basically Raptor 2 versus Raptor 3, the performance and how much payload difference, and I compared orbits with kick stages and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was fun videos. Over kilometer per second for me. For the full stack, that better not be a deep press vent.
Parts are stainless steel. The reason for steel over aluminum is that the heat of atmospheric and
would be the total stack would have a total delta V of like 13 kilometers a second. Because ship empty would be 9 kilometers. Booster would be maybe 4. And then full, it would be 7.5 for the ship and 3.5 for the booster. Chuck E. Cheese integral of the booster ISP at different altitudes, and that's hard. No, you don't. You do? No, you don't. Well, I mean, you can just take the average ISP. Change once. Yeah. That's if your original point was just about purely ship, then yeah, you're totally right. I thought you were talking about the full stack. If that's what you're, you can just average the delta V, the ISP. Booster does 1/3, ship does 2/3. Yeah, but booster has a lot more gravity losses, so it also is expending a lot more delta V. No, the booster accelerates the ship to 5.5 kilometers a second. The booster have to have like 8 kilometers a second of delta V, accounting for gravity losses. Maybe 7. All right, coming up on T-minus 30 minutes.
So heat shield would come back essentially partially broken and would require many months of
oopsies, that's KSP.
What we're trying to achieve here with Starship is to
Do,
have
do,
a
do,
heat
do.
shield that can be flown immediately. So the ship, both the ship and the booster, would be caught by the tower arms, and the booster would be placed immediately back on the launch stand, and the ship.
Bro, what? Is something not making sense?
Both at least once.
What's with the gray bar? I wonder if there's like some desk underneath and there's some like proprietary info on there that they are trying to hide. Booster with a nose cone could be an SSTO. I mean, a ship could be an SSTO, Elon said. I don't know if with or without a heat shield. Probably without a heat shield. Could the booster be an SSTO? Yeah, I mean, it'd have a pretty crazy TW. It'd actually probably be more efficient to take some of those engines. If you took off like, what does it have, 33? If you took off 13 sea levels and just had 20 sea levels, and then put on like 5, however many you could fit, you could fit 6-ish. No, if you put 3, maybe 4. I'm just trying to think how many you could fit with 20 sea levels. Maybe 4. You could maybe fit 4 vacuums. And then you could totally make the booster be an SST, maybe even deliver some payload. Using Facecam, I used to watch your daily stream 4 years ago. Wow, 4 years ago. Wow. Well, I mean, thank you for being around. One of the OGs here. I started a few years ago. Mostly it's just launch streams that I have a Facecam for because I kind of felt like it was kind of, oopsies, bonking into things here. I thought it was kind of awkward to be reacting to something whilst not reacting. It's just my voice. And that's, that's not as exciting. Because if there may be some thing where visually is exciting, but I'm not saying anything, so. Guys, code 5 years ago. It was almost 5.5 years ago, almost. Elon still talking?
That we can.
Yep. I mean, this is really cool having Elon on here. He's never been on a stream before. And I, in theory, would be really excited to hear him talk, but he just kind of says the same thing over and over again. Moosey can't do from my experience, just too heavy if it can. Math a while ago and found that an SLS core with 8 engines could be an SSTO with 10 tons of payload. Really? 8 RS-25s? I suppose so, yeah. That'd probably... I would bet an SLS, SSTO, I bet would be the highest payload capacity of any SSTO. That doesn't make. Let me try that again. If you take any rocket that's flying today and turn it into an SSTO, I bet of all the ones you did that for, SLS core stage would have the most delta V. Like if you did it to Starship, if you did it to Super Heavy, if you did it to SLS, if you did it to Falcon 9 booster, probably couldn't be an SSTO. Falcon Heavy, the 3 side cores, if you launched them all, maybe, probably not. But SLS core stage, though, probably has a TWR under 1 with just the 4 engines, so you would have to do modifications to it. And if modifications are allowed, you could probably modify Falcon, which is because the hydrogen, right? Maybe the Vulcan core stage. Man, I remember when you got smacked out of the sky in a Starship on Roblox. Oh, that was actually pretty funny. Starship was made by me, and this is important because it was... Yeah. It is. I actually want to pull up that... Sorry, I'm getting darn distracted. Yeah, that was really funny when I got rammed out of the sky. I got midair collisioned on Roblox Starship Simulator. That was at... Let me go find that stream. I'm sure Elon is saying very important and totally not repetitive things right now. And it's good to, you know, drive in the message of the mission. Have they shown this before? I think they have. Where is me getting rammed with a Starship in Roblox? Is it this? I think it was when I was landing. I had a really good landing, and then someone just yeeted me out of the sky. Not this part. Maybe it was when I was trying to launch, and someone landed on top of me, maybe. I am determined to find the clip. Someone else finds it, let me know. I almost thought someone made a video of it, actually. I'll put on Elon as background noise while I look.
Prove out. Really big one is going to be the on-orbit refilling. Looking to do that next year, and that's really what's going to kind of unlock, you know, Starship going everywhere else, going everywhere beyond Earth. And that's something that's, again, never been done before, kind of like that reusable orbital heat shield, but it's going to be something that's kind of some of the other secret sauce to Starship, where we're going to be able to send hundreds of tons per ship to Mars.
Yeah, I like to think of it as if we get to orbit with a full cargo bay, but we're empty on fuel and oxygen. So basically, we're running on fumes. Then we send other ships to dock, transfer propellant, and now we made our 2-stage rocket look like a many multi-stage rocket. And we get all of that performance. And we can take that full cargo bay now wherever we want to go.
Yeah, so a crucial technology that we...
Yeah, I can't find it. Oh well, someone can... The SLS has a TWR of just over 1 at booster SEP. Okay, yeah, but I mean, you remove the payload, which is admittedly very light for SLS. So, yeah, probably, because booster SEP is at like 3 minutes into flight-ish, 2:45-ish. So after, and it burns for a total of 8 minutes, so it burned like a third of its propellant. So, yeah, it definitely doesn't have TWR of 1 yeah, that was an issue. Was it? Really? Do you remember the donation stream that went home forever? Yup, that was very pleasant. Hey, drone flying by. That was like, what, 4 days long? 3 days long? $60 an hour for 3 days. That game isn't up anymore. Yeah, Roblox games kind of have a little bit of a life cycle sometimes. Some of my very favorite Roblox games are not in existence anymore, and it's sad, including the first ever game I ever played, which is like a deserted island rescue simulator. Eager Space City calculation for SLS as 8-engine SSTO. Pretty cute. 10 tons, is that what the number is? Which I believe that sounds right to me. I don't think you would wear clothes like that on Mars, but yeah. Oh no, no giant window. What happened to the giant window?
And ensuring the long-term survival of life as we know it. And it's important to note here that obviously, we are effectively stewards of life here on Earth. That the other creatures cannot build spacecraft and get to other planets. So if they were
You found it, Vulcan?
Event like a giant meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs, or ultimately the sun will expand to envelop Earth and destroy all life. We know this is an undisputed fact. Then if we don't take life to another planet,
Elon's on some Noah's Ark type speech here. This is me getting rammed by a getting rammed in my stream. It was on landing.
Oh, there's someone. Okay, so then what you do, 3,000. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit Y. I'm gonna hit the flip mode. Okay, we're gonna go into land. Oh, yo, I'm actually really close. Oh, what? I got murdered.
Yeah, I was doing my landing burn and someone just flopped on top of me. Good lord. That had no additional stuff, just a payload. Yeah, well, I mean, the adapters could be considered part of the payload, right? Just have, yes, less useful payload. Oh, we're already coming up on 20 minutes. All right, we're getting into it.
that we know of of the fastest means of transport. So
Shouldn't Elon be like getting on a console or something, doing the CEO stuff, give him the go command? I guess this is the 10th flight. It's not as important that he's like micromanaging it anymore. It's kind of routine at this point. Yep, we are officially within. Wait for it. "20 minutes. Oh, my stream is delayed. This is like at least a 20-second delay. Let me try it again. Let's see if I can get a better delay here. This is still about 15 seconds. That's a shame. Yeah, I guess I'm on a 15-second delay. Oh well.
thanks for your support.
Thanks for crashing, guys.
All right.
All right, Elon's leaving. Goodbye, Elon. Where's Sarah and Jessica or Jessie? What are their names? I think her name is Jessie Anderson, right? Is the one co-host, and then it's like Sarah. I don't remember their names. Shoot.
All right, that was sweet. Let's turn our attention back to the
Pop a
rockets.
cone, yeah,
Checking
little
in
aerodynamic
about 19
cone.
minutes and change away from liftoff. As I said right at the top, weather is going to be our primary concern. We were tracking some anvil clouds. We're hopefully clearing that on the range soon. We are not currently tracking any hardware blockers to launch, but we'll continue to follow along. If anyone was following along yesterday, we actually didn't even get into our webcast as we had a
In the
leak
shower.
on one of the hoses feeding the liquid oxygen into
Engine
the
chill.
It was a quick disconnect. We were able to replace that this morning. Team did an incredible job.
Yeah, quick pause here. Anyone realize how crazy that is? They had a leak. Oh, hello. Who are you?
Right into it.
Yeah, a whole bunch has happened to get us to today's flight, our 10th flight test. Let's look back at Starship's 9th flight test in May. That did end with a unscheduled
Did they? Well, there's a whole bunch of hosts that aren't there. Chris G from NSF isn't there. Jesse Anderson and the other, her name is either Sarah or Lucy, which are very different names. I should know her name because I've been watching her a million times. Is this a new? I should know her name. But yeah, those three have been pretty regulars. I haven't seen them in a while. Better not be a scrub. It better, yeah, that'd be a shame if you skipped your practice and you don't even get a launch out of it. That would be a real shame. One of the pins in general, a blurry photo of my toad in a hole. There's a lot of weird lore on that server. I do not. That is a good question. There's like an ancient artifact. It's like an ancient. We have to be like friggin' whatever Indiana Jones was, archaeologist going through there. It's like uncovering a lost civilization because who knows what is in the depths of that server. I don't remember half of the context of half of the reason stuff is on there anymore. It's been so long. About Ship 36. I think they were just talking about Ship 36. That was the last flight, right? This is Ship 37 we're looking at, I think. I can check. I have it right up here. Oh, Ship 36 is that was the one that just popped. That was the poppy one. They explained that, didn't they? Anyway, sorry, before I get too sidetracked again. Yeah, meaning you have Vulcan's name here. I want to just quickly point out the fact that they had a leak on the ship QD, and they literally fixed it overnight and recycled and launched the next day. Imagine if that was on SLR. Imagine if that was on even any of the good providers like Rocket Lab or you can even call Blue Origin that as well. And that would have been like probably a week at least. ULA. Imagine. They just walk up and... This reminds me in SN10 when there was like a frozen valve and they literally walked out in the middle of the day. I don't remember... I think they detanked. They might... The tank farm was still active though, and some person just manually opened the valve and they launched that day. It was crazy. This reminds me of that. We all want to see that until you realize 6-month flight. I hope not. Flights, yeah, with the COPVs. Yep. Would be a year delay. Well, they've been getting better. You should start a rocketry club at Iowa. Can tell our donors we need more money to beat Iowa. Well, is a rocketry club. Just isn't very good. Unfortunately. Perhaps it needs motivation. Kind of did, yeah. Scrap the whole thing, yeah. Put pool powder in Coke and flip it upside down, you get a real rocket thing, yeah. Kaboom.
Teams working to build creative solutions to keep us charging forward to eventually bring Starship online.
And even
they should show the kaboom of Ship 36. I just realized that is not a gray bar. I'm pretty sure that's just the desk. No, that might be a gray bar. What is this? What is going on? Is that a desk, or did they gray something out, or because you can see like a little bit of like a greenish blue guy. I think that the camera might just be messed up. Oh, there's Chris G, isn't it?
Chris. Hey, Dan and Amanda, it's going great, and welcome everyone to the Tesla Diner.
Today. I think they left IREC, the Iowa team. They just got the like 2 people that do nothing there. I think they got annoyed by it and left. Hello, Chris G. I love the cross promotion. Tesla is like a public independent company from SpaceX, but who cares? Who cares? Elon.
And in low Earth orbit. So for a little bit more information on the immediate future of the Starlink
You can see the
constellation,
stream is like
let's go
going a
over to
million
Goddard,
times.
where my colleague Tyler Lionquist is standing by.
Who?
Tyler, how's it going there? And are you ready to see a rocket launch today?
We are definitely ready for a Starship launch here in Hoff.
I have never seen a woman named Tyler before, but okay. Who would name their daughter Tyler? Not judging her, I am judging her parents, though. We could probably listen to what she has to
Redmond,
say.
Washington, and that's also where we monitor the health of our entire constellation. So let's take a quick look for more on Redmond.
Redmond, okay, I don't know much about this facility.
What a lot of people might not realize when they think about the scale that we're operating is that actually 2/3 of the operational satellites in orbit are Starlink satellites. And then all of those Starlink satellites came from right
Pool
here.
powder, you put it in benzene. I don't have a pool, man. Where do I get pool powder from? I'm from the Midwest. It's too cold to have pools, but some people do for some reason. I don't know why. Employees, yeah, well.
They're flying around in orbit, so they're working together to fill out the whole surface of the Earth, make sure everywhere can have service.
Those weird
So we
misspelled
have these
names,
links
like, yeah.
connected between the satellites, so each satellite can pass.
People
data
do like to name their
from
kids
the
weird
other.
things.
That's what allows us to have these hundreds of gigabit links between.
The fun ones are like when they put like X's and things. They got inspired by Elon's weird X obsession, maybe. Or parents name their kid Jackson, but it's like Jaxson. Those ones I like. So I made a jetpack $28 doing this method. Freaking pool powder or whatever? Really? And benzene? Well, the jetpack probably couldn't last very long, but...
Many little antennas that work together in order to direct their energy to a specific
Homemade
spot
rocket
around
space
without-
program, yeah.
Generally, satellite manufacturing is a very slow process. It takes people weeks or months to build a satellite.
Yeah, Starlink is really next level.
And we have learned
It
how
is
to
next
build
level.
satellites at the 7
Jeffrey,
times
yeah.
a week rate.
There are a lot of people named Jeff that is spelled Geoff.
We have focused a lot on production rate. We have not forgotten about our satellite reliability, which is critical to our mission.
Like Elon's kids, yeah. Well, Elon probably takes the cake for weird, ridiculous names.
It's right here in the USA, in Redmond, where the vast majority of satellites are being built right here. Starlink is a truly game-changing technology, and it's all supported by the global satellite constellation from this space here in Redmond. And we're really just getting started at the very beginning of what we want to do with Starlink.
Geography.
Now, as we mentioned earlier in the show, one of today's objectives is for SHIP to deploy Starlink simulator satellites that represent the advanced.
Just to move a wheelbarrow full of Starlinks around. Yeah, that'd be a pretty high-pressure job. Would not want to drop that wheelbarrow. This is a new animation. No, I think they've shown this before. Is that it'd be hilarious if that's how fast they're literally like... They literally spit them out. I don't think they go that fast. You pay it. I would... If I was in charge of Starlinks and I... how to trust someone to push them around, that's like millions of dollars. I'd probably pay them a lot. Your name's Jeff? Hopefully the correct Jeff. Or the wrong Jeff, I suppose that. We're getting, let me focus here, let me focus up.
Starlink to serve as the community.
The satellite industry, it's right here in the
Oopsies.
USA, in Redmond, where the vast majority...
Being declared that Anvil rule any moment now. That's really the only thing blocking us at the moment. Vehicle's good, pads ready to go. All of our checkouts have been really smooth today. Work that we did this morning after we...
Maybe, we'll see. We seem to be getting a weather update, so
We're looking at the weather. That's the thing we're really paying attention to right now.
it seems a little
Meanwhile, prop loading is
pessimistic.
Still ongoing. We started loading prop at about T-minus 53.
I'm actually only at about a 6-second delay now. This is much better.
Booster fuel and finally booster locks began loading at about T-minus 35.
Because vomiting,
We
that's how
continued loading
fast this
prop
guy,
until
yeah.
just about 3 minutes before liftoff, and ship will conclude first, and then 30 seconds later, booster will finish up.
Yeah, so bottom line, we're looking great in the vehicle. We're looking really good on the range. We're just really watching that weather. So we're still waiting to hear that that's clear.
YannBld rule, yeah.
That's the only thing that could potentially stop us today.
Okay, now let's talk about Mars, since everything we do is
We've been
part of
talking
our
about Mars this whole
foundational mission to get
time.
to
Blah,
Red
blah,
Planet.
blah. So
Each
much
Starship launch is
Mars.
to learn
Mars,
more
Mars,
and more about
Mars.
what
Give me
is
a Mars
needed
bar.
to make life multiplanetary and to improve ship to the point where it's eventually taking millions of people to Mars.
That's right. We're looking ahead to begin sending the first Starships to Mars next year. These initial ones are going to go without humans. They're just going to put minimally viable landers on the surface.
I really hope they actually do. That'd be so cool if they do. I guess I can go basically all the way to T0 on the weather. I mean, they're already basically loaded up, so no reason to stop. So, hey, David El Dios, how are you?
Then, during our next window from 2028 to 2029, we'll attempt to land the initial infrastructure and start delivering more.
Launch it
equipment
anyway,
while
yeah.
evaluating available
What's the ISP of the
resources
Starlink
on
Pez
land.
dispenser?
And
That
we'll also have Optimus on board for the ride, designed to do
I'd
the initial.
be surprised if it broke 10.
Beyond that, by 2030, 2031, as these windows open up roughly every 26 months, we'll
Only
continue
aboard
to
is if you
increase
throw
the
something
amount of
heavy at
payload we're
Starship.
sending on each ship as we're building out more infrastructure.
Probably be like one,
mining
yeah.
Resources, generating propellant for ships to come back from Mars. By 2033, we want to double the amount of payload per ship.
Yeah, please don't scrub again. I don't want to do 2 scrubs. I want to launch.
Yeah, very exciting missions ahead, and these first missions to Mars are going to be crucial to setting up what we'll need for humans to eventually inhabit the planet, and we...
I really shouldn't be muting them this deep into the count, but I want to just do a quick weather update here. Alright, so we have the... I guess we can't specifically scan for YannBld clouds, but that is getting very close to the launch site. That is not going north. That is going toward the launch site. Where's the clouds? Might not be the best views. The wind is blowing that way, though, so... Yeah, no clouds. No, we're good. See? The clouds are, like, look, we're over the launch site here. Clouds, 30... Clouds here. Bunch of clouds here. Bunch of clouds. Rain over there. No, go away. Rain, rain, go away. Please, for the love of God, launch today.
These things. It's got to be fun for you.
Do the Starlinks have camera? People have really been hoping that it does. I'm under the suspicion that they don't. SpaceX never mentioned anything about it, and we got really close to Starlink deploy last launch, and they never said anything about it unless they mean for it to be kind of like a jump scare thing, like a oh surprise. I wouldn't bet on it. They could launch it, see what happens. Other conditions they could. I don't know if they'd ever be able to launch it again. Got ram. You yeah. Good idea. Lift a second Starship in the air and point it at the clouds used to blow away the rain. I thought you were going to say lift a Starship with the Starship and then lift it above the clouds and then launch it above the clouds.
Push back into the prop farm and just prepare the area around it. We're doing our final guidance and navigation checks right now.
I guess they can hold.
The safety system is about to get armed. We're just really preparing the vehicle to get ready to go. I'm not sure if we passed it already, but we do a final thrust vector control check out the TVC. We'll wiggle the engines that we use to actually steer the rocket itself. Everybody's favorite topic, if we need to hold. That hold would come at T-minus 40 seconds. We can hold if
hey, Mott
waiting
Scanley.
for weather to clear.
Flight 10 the Redeemer, I really hope so.
Or if any other last-minute issues pop up. We'll only hold there if we have an issue.
Your genius is unmatched, yeah.
That the weather has cleared. That's the only thing it looks like would hold us today. Here's the business end of a Super Heavy.
Now, once we pass that T-minus 40-second mark that Dan was talking...
Well, yeah, well, I don't know if they can hold for weather and just hope the weather goes away. And, like, they could just sit around. I guess maybe they could. I don't know if they have to make the weather decision before that, though. Shouldn't it just launch straight? Yeah, but this is, like, legally. They can't, like, disobey the FAA.
Zero. And once we pass that T-minus 40-second mark, we do still have the ability to then recycle the count under certain conditions.
I'm a little. My delay is bumping up, so let me just see if I can get a.
We do have some.
Oh yeah, I'm at about a 5-second delay. No.
Return. Once the water starts flowing out of that flame deflector under the.
All right. Let's see if I can get a quick update here. Come on. Oh,
That triggers.
there we go.
And then we hit a hold.
She's
that
typing
we
in
disrupted
chat.
the day.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like to do the multi-stream. I'd probably have 15 streams pulled up on my end too if
That's kind of the main
I didn't do my
philosophy,
own
and we'll see
streaming.
Big splash under the launch mount. And if
But
we
I'll see you
that
when I
go,
see
then
him, Mouse
you get a
Scanley.
hold, That would mean that we're done.
Seen
for
that
the
power
day.
in V1 and
But
V2 first loss. Second gets slightly
Nah.
further. Third smoothing drill. Fourth survives injury. I hope. Monster Sea Dragon, yeah.
And
Oh.
yeah, I didn't disappear. Sorry, everybody. Listening in as the flight director for today is going through some of the final checks. We are still red on the range for weather. We are closing out prop load right now, though.
Yeah, as we wait and hear what's going on, we can just quickly review some of the test objectives for today.
This seems a
On the
bit
booster
sketchy.
side, we're of course hoping for
I think the probability of going today is going lower and lower and lower and
Once
lower.
that stage separation occurs, booster will perform that directional flip before the
Oh,
booster rock burn.
glad to have you, Astroth.
One of the interesting experiments we're doing today is upon our landing burn, which typically ends.
Technically, the
with
wind
the
is
freeze
blowing
engine
that
state.
way,
We're
so
going to be intentionally shutting
that
one of
way.
those off and instead lighting one from the middle 10 ring. And this is just to kind of give us an idea of what it would look like if we ever had an engine out scenario.
Yeah, we don't like the red on weather.
Yeah, using our
Oh, there's a
time
wiggle.
to really push the envelope. And so at this point, we are
That's
fully
fast, yeah.
closed out on our prop load. Coming up on a minute and 20.
See, a non-nuclear,
We are still
I
in the
don't.
range for weather. So at this rate, looking likely we will hold at T-minus 40 to see if we can clear that anvil cloud roll. That's the
Chuck
one
E. Jesus.
blocker we currently have to
All
launch
right.
today.
Well, we'll plan on the 40 hold, and hopefully. Oh, we just lost the count. No, okay, we're moving here. All right, we'll expect the 40-second hold. They can hold for like 10 or 15 minutes, I think, here. So let's hope for the best.
All right, and we did just get confirmation, so we are expecting to hold at T-minus 40. We are still red on the range for weather, so look for the clock to pause in just a couple seconds.
Hold. They've been holding. I think this is 3 holds
So
in a
we'll hang
row.
out here for a couple of minutes. We do have until the end of the window. We won't have 30 minutes of hold time to hang out, as we can't. We're essentially not replenishing prop on the vehicle at this point, so we have to keep a close eye on things like temperatures.
We're
and
40 miles away,
things.
but they are under the
Only
anvil
hold
cloud.
for so
Yeah.
many minutes before
Well,
the
hopefully
things
the
start to warm up
cloud clears away.
in South Texas. So
You don't like the new UI? I don't know. I think they're all big. I don't really have an.
While
I think
we're
they all look
here
good,
at
actually.
T-minus 40 seconds, we reviewed our test objectives for booster, but why don't we chat ship for a second?
Oops, I keep
After
bonking
stage
stuff.
separation, ship will continue onwards up through its
All right, everyone, keep your eyes glued on
trajectory.
the.
Once it
Much
reaches
like
there,
Falcon.
we'll
I think
go
that's the.
feedback.
I think they wanted to have
Stage
commonality.
shuts off its engines.
All right, keep
We're
everyone,
going to
keep your eyes
deploy,
glued on.
dummy
I mean, you can
satellites
see like blue sky appearing over here.
Starlink V3. We're also planning to attempt a
No altitude. Yeah, some of that lack of altitude and speed is definitely a problem. Definitely a problem.
And that will occur ahead
But
of
there's
the
some
mission.
other new data
We'll
points,
also
like
test multiple
I don't
experiments,
remember.
including missing tiles, metallic tiles.
I'm also talking
and,
over this lady, which is
potentially
making
exploding
thinking
those
kind of
vehicles'
hard.
Flaps. And then hopefully we'll conclude today's test flight with a soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean.
Hopefully we can conclude
Yeah,
today's
definitely
test flight
wanna
with
see
a
it
flight.
on the other side of the planet today. We did just get a quick update, so the range is fully green.
Oh,
Weather is
No.
still red.
Well,
so
yeah.
we're still tracking a detached anvil rule, which essentially there's an anvil cloud that's too close to our launch site, and it needs to move further away.
well, get
Until
moving.
it moves further away, we can't lift off. So we are expecting an update in a couple of seconds potentially. Again, we can hang out here for several minutes. We're not actively replenishing prop,
Come on.
and getting an update now.
Come on. Good news here. Good news. Good news? The clock starts
And we're
moving.
getting a weather update right now.
The clock starts moving. That'll be good news. Kind of probably expect the worst here, right?
And teams looking at it. Again, we're just tracking this
Yeah.
anvil rule still. It's our only blocker today. Range is green, vehicle is green. Weather is currently red.
Just move, Cloud. I think. I don't know. Move.
All right, and sad voice coming in. We did just hear that we are still going to be red. So at this point, we are essentially transitioning this to be a wet dress. So wet dress is when we fully load prop on board the rocket.
All right, we're scrubbed for the second time in a row. Send it if it blows up as well. I think that'll do it. Man, I was hoping to do some stuff today. I'll keep watching just in case. I mean, they are not launching it, but just in case for some reason because the clock is moving. If it for some reason actually does launch. Nothing ever happens, right? Out. You got that right, David. Second scrub is it, yep. Yeah, now we're...
So, again, we essentially turned today into a wet dress.
Alright, the end. Well, not a scrub, wet dress rehearsal, right? Yeah. I mean, now they're going to have to reload everything. I don't know if they can get it back by tomorrow or not, but we'll see. Alright, second scrub of Flight 10. If I had to guess, it might not be until Wednesday. Maybe they can do a 24-hour turnaround with the... Did they do a 24-hour turnaround on Flight 8? I don't remember. I'll have to check. Anyway, no use dilly-dallying. I'll close up shop here and probably have to go get some dinner and check up on the rest of life today. So, yeah, unfortunate. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, though. We had a nice crowd here. Hope to see you all on the next attempt. That will be very exciting indeed. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll close up here. So, thank you for watching. So next time, please consider commenting the video. Once again, thank you for watching. So next time.